So here we have Bella, and this week Bella worked on her kennel and weight. Here you can see that I toss a treat in. I wait until Bella goes in and finishes the treat. I want to be sure she's not chewing on the treat, but instead is focused on me. And then I give her the wait command. When she comes out of the crate, she then receives another treat and or praise. So again, toss the treat in, telling her kennel, waiting until she finishes the treat and her focus is on me, telling her wait. And if she goes to prematurely barge, I'll say, and we start over with the wait command. And then once she settles back in and holds on from barging out, I will then say, okay, which is the universal release word. And again, she gets some treats and praise. It's all about repetition and making sure that I don't let Bella barge out. If Bella were to barge out prematurely and I let her just run around and play instead of putting her back in the crate, I'm then teaching her that it's an acceptable behavior to barge. The whole point of the wait command is to teach good manners and deter barging behaviors. So if she gets out, you are to put her back in the crate and start over with that wait command. The goal is to be able to open the door all the way before she's done with training. That being said, right now she's learning the terminology and what it is I'm expecting of her. So she's learning this week that when I say kennel, she goes in there and it's a positive thing because she gets a toy or treat. And then when she's done with that and I say wait and she does wait, she gets to come on out, getting more treats and praise. We also use the wait command when walking through doorways or across the street. You would handle a door situation just as I'm doing with that crate door. Then when she goes to barge out, I just close her back in and start over with the wait command. If Bella were barking or whining or throwing what I like to call a tantrum, I would not let her out. Instead, I wait until she settles in and has at least 10 to 20 seconds of quiet. She does not have to sit or lay down. I just don't want her pushing on the door or, again, no barking or whining. Otherwise, I'm going to be feeding into a habit, and it's going to become a very hard habit to break down the road. So by staying structured with this now, it'll set her up for success down the road. As you can see here, she went to prematurely barge out, so I just gently scooted her back in, closed the door, and started over with that wait command. This is all about repetition. You may end up having to push her back in there several times. You may have to close the door and not let her out several times and start over again and again, and that's okay. We want to demonstrate follow through. If you were to get bored or tired of doing this and you just kind of gave in and let her do whatever she wants, then she's going to think that she does not have to wait, and as she gets older, she may become more stubborn with this. So again, structure and follow through are extremely important. You can see that she's looking at me, giving great handler focus, and those are the moments I wait for because I want to use those positive marker words and I want to feed into the fact that she's willing to learn. Here you can see she didn't go all the way in, so I just kind of gave her a little bit of a scoot, and that's okay. Making sure I throw that treat in as far as I can, that she still notices it because this is a fairly large crate. She's not being crated in a crate this big, but it's okay to use for this exercise. You can see here that she's doing a little bit of smacking of her jaw, and I was waiting until she settled down so I could let her out of the crate so that we could follow through with the command. And once I did, you'll see that I stop her, and I do realize that she had a treat stuck to her beard. So I think she could feel it there. She was trying to get it, and she was just struggling. So just keep in mind that's what this is. And as soon as I was able to get the treat out of her beard and lip, she was fine. So she's a very good girl, very easygoing, and she loves her treats. I also want to tell you about another method. Here I am using the treat method, and that means I'm using treats to entice her to go into the crate. Down the road, you can use crate-safe toys, so nothing with plush because we don't want her to be able to shred it and ingest it. So rubber toys such as Kongs or even hard chews are really great for crate-safe toys. This will give her something to do and get it where she's focused on something other than being in the crate and helps the time pass faster. You'll notice that there is nothing in the crate with her right now, and that's just for the purpose of this drill and exercise. I want her to be able to hear the treat hit the tray, but typically she goes to bed with either a soaker pad or a blanket of sorts, in the crate with her. This way there's a barrier between her and the tray. This will help promote joint and hip health. So we want to set her up for success with down the road growth. And having a bed in the crate with her is a great idea. I do recommend to use the soaker pad we sent home with her for the first few days or weeks, just until she is adapted to your home and settled in. This way, if she has an accident, the soaker pad will soak it up and not her. Next, you will see that we ended our kennel and weights on a positive note. She did great, got a treat, and it was a successful end to that part of our session. And then we will lead into ending the session completely with either sits and or downs, or at least a sit. We want to end on a good note with the skill that we're working on, or command, which is the kennel and weight for this session. And then we end it with a sit and down.